Hi, gentlemen. So we know that the myogenic regulatory factors are the one thing that is in control of hypertrophy. We know that because they actually correlate and associate with hypertrophy outcomes or with the amount of growth that you can have at any one time. It makes perfect sense. They are effectively binding to genes, to growth genes, to enhance its translation, and that allows the muscle fiber to grow. But what can we do to potentiate those transcription factors, those myogenic regulatory factors? What can we do to potentiate them, to elevate them, to keep them elevated so that we can naturally grow muscle? Well, the first thing, and that's the thing that we are going to talk about in this video, is resistance training. This should be common sense, right? So when you do resistance training, you actually elevate your myogenic regulatory factors. So MyoD, myogenin, all of those regulatory factors come up. And the caveat with the resistance type of training that you do is that you need to implement some intensity and some effort. What do I mean by that? Well, the exercise intensity has to be at least 60%. Although I would say that the sweet spot should be between 70 and 80%. That should be your sweet spot because of power curves, and that's a whole another topic for another video. But basically you have a nice pairing of power production and tensile strength within your muscle fiber when you're around 70%. But anyway, you should work around that number, 70%, with as much power that you can develop within every rep, and that will come out about 10, 12, 8 reps, depending on how trained you are and how strong you are. But that's the first step, is to actually implement resistance training and to work out with some intensity. I would recommend 70% of your 1 rep max. Do your 3 to 4 sets of 10, no problem. The other thing, and this is in the effort category. In the effort category, we need to implement some effort. And what I mean by that is that you're not being a little pussy, and you actually work out like a man, and you actually train. And training for muscle growth involves training to failure. You don't stop a set until your muscles can no longer contract one more time. That's the definition of training. If you don't train to failure, you're actually not training, you're just exercising. You're just doing something that your muscles already can do. But the point with resistance training is that you are training your muscles to go above and beyond what they can actually do. So every time that you step in the gym, you need to train to failure. Now there's a volume sweet spot to how much you should train to failure, but anywhere between 5 to 10 sets per session or per body part should give you the best results. And 5 sets is really all you need. The thing is that you can go up to 10 sets without compromising growth. At some point, if you work out too much, if your volume is too high, volume is actually a negative deterrent of muscle growth. If you go above a certain threshold, volume can actually hamper muscle growth. So you need to be careful with that, and I would say between 5 to 10 sets training to failure, actual contractile failure, meaning that your buddy that works out with you has to help you on that last rep, or else you will get pinned under the bar. That's the definition of training to failure. And if you do that, we can see that the myogenic regulatory factors actually upregulate post-training, immediately post-training. In muscle stem cells, they actually take a long time to develop because they work in sequence. But so MyoD can actually be upregulated 24 hours, and then myogenic comes on, and so on and so forth. But in mature muscle fibers, we can see that immediately post-workout, 30 minutes post-workout, your myogenic regulatory factors are already up, and that's because they are binding to those genes, those growth genes that are necessary for you to grow. And that's it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Hey fellow warrior, thank you for watching that, and if you liked that video, you would also like to know that I've made my workouts and meal plans completely available for free. All you need to do is go to my website, which the link will be in the description of this video, and pick your poison, whether if you want to gain muscle or looks fat and look completely shredded. You can pick whichever style of workout suits you better, and you can pick the meal plans according to your goals. Don't miss out on the opportunity, as for now they are completely free.